Okay, well, I think it's time that we talk about a game that is coming out that has all kinds of weirdness surrounding it, and that is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. A game that's like seemingly bringing back Indiana Jones from the crypts of his existence and giving him kind of a modern AAA take. And I gotta say that this game is not an overly bad idea, even though I don't know if he quite looks as much like Harrison Ford. But I mean, I would say that they're probably going to do a fairly safe, open world, potentially, I don't even know, adventure game, maybe linear. I really don't know. I haven't looked into it much, but I gotta say that this game is raising all manner of red flags for me. Just the way that the license suddenly came to gaming, and they just kind of suddenly decided to make this game, and push it out, and it doesn't seem to be a lot of hype around it. You would expect there to be a massive thing, and when you go into the gameplay, it's like, really, what are you gonna get? Are you gonna just get a random indie adventure game? Like, sure, I guess that would work. But we'll really have to see what the game is, and what it represents, and what is actually going to occur in the game. Because I mean, if you're just tomb diving, I mean, I guess sure, but if it's like a super linear game, it might not have a lot of staying power for people. It might honestly just be a game people beat once and rarely ever touch again. It might be one of those games. And like, it doesn't seem overly terrible of an idea, but then again, it's not something that's like the biggest, most incredible looking adventure that we've ever seen. It looks like just a fairly standard PS4 era game. I mean, it really does. It's like, it's just probably fine and okay. Now, the real controversy for this that I wanted to cover includes the fact that, yes, Sweet Baby Ink detected. This was a long time ago, this article, but I mean, it's been all but proven all around the net, that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on this game. Now, if you don't know, Sweet Baby Inc. is a cancerous tumor growing on game development that, basically, companies hire them, pay them money to fuck their game up and put all kinds of woke bullshit into the fucking goddamn games. And it got me thinking. It got me wondering, being like, wait a second. Wait a second. Sweet Baby, a woke pro Black Lives Matter, pro gay, pro LGBT, pro all this diversity fucking nonsense. It really strikes me as, how could they be involved in a game that totally is about a predominantly white cast of, oh, look, there is some diversity there, but predominantly white character that is fighting Nazis. What role do they have to play in all this? Now, we can see there is a little bit of diversity here. When you go through the initial parts of the trailer, it looks like just a generic, uh, Indiana Jones, just here he is, Indiana Jones. You get to play as an Indiana Jones in an Indiana Jones adventure. But really, what does Bethesda and Lucas Games and all these fuckers, what do they have doing letting Sweet Baby work on this game when there should be no anything to do with diversity in this game? Oh, look, did they model that guy off Tony Todd? Of course they did. Yeah, that's like 100% a copy of Tony Todd's face. I don't know if they paid the his estate for that, but I just find it fascinating. I mean, here's Sweet Baby is forced to work on a game about a stoic, brave, uh, uh, very successful white dude who just happens to be an adventurer and gang traitor. So what could they spin the narrative here? How could they do that as if to only to take, Indiana Jones? I would say his movies are the first three movies or whatever. Yeah, the first couple movies are fantastic historical movies that, obviously we knew we weren't going to get anything much better than that. But I like the Shia LaBeouf one. I like Shia LaBeouf. I think he was awesome, and although the movie wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination, it certainly wasn't as terrible as the newest Indiana Jones they made, where they just turned him into an absolute fucking retard. And this movie or this game, of course they made the decision to pop Nazis in it. Now, this is definitely a little bit strange because they're saying that Nazis and enemies shouldn't be a way to constantly condone, glorify, or endorse their ideology. So you really got to wonder how they're going to portray Nazis in this. Are they going to make them so that they are just depicted as the worst? Or are they going to try and make some political statement about Trump? Or, like, these motherfuckers will think of anything. And I find it funny that they have to put a disclaimer saying they don't condone the Nazis, but yet they put them in the game and kind of have them in there just as you would think that they would just make them about some completely. It's almost as if to say that they're wanting to make them, they're wanting to show them you beating up Nazis. It's like beat up Nazi simulator, like it's just really weird. There's something really off about this game. This game just feels odd for me. I'm not particularly interested in it. It doesn't look absolutely terrible, and I would imagine Bethesda Game Studios has a project department that worked on this using their good tech, and they put real effort into it. It doesn't look like an overly terrible game. It does, to me, look fairly mid-tier, even if you're a fan of the Indiana Jones series. It doesn't have the worst looking combat, but I will admit it does look fairly clunky to be rolling around in first person like it shows you doing. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad looking game. So let's have a look at the Steam. Because there's some very interesting things on the Steam page as well. As you can see, full price, insanely expensive game for this software. I would hope for that price we would get a massive open world, tons of locations to explore, free roaming all around everywhere, but I might be wrong, and there might be a very linear, limited story. They seem, modern gaming seems obsessed with the idea of making like a very short, very concise story, driving home political messaging. When they make these games, they make them very limited on what the things you can do in them, the world you can explore. And, at this price, I would hope that they just fucking like, you get a massive open world, you can do all kinds of stuff, there's tons of content, but I'm just not seeing that. And I highly doubt that this is going to be the biggest game ever that's like Indiana Jones the game. I think it's going to be a tight little story. I think it's going to have very limited functionality, and its replay value is going to be very minimal. That's just my opinion. That's what I would imagine it would be like. But outside of all that, outside of the video game, outside of the quality, I'm just gonna make sure my mic is on. This is a good one. I would hope outside of all this game, it looks like a very mid-tier game, a very bare bones Indiana Jones experience. Outside of all that, there's some serious wokeness considerations. I don't know why. It's just something about it, and it's so weird because the whole cast appears to be white. White people on white people. So it's and people have said that there's an LGBT tag on it. I don't see that, and I know that there's going to be some diversity in it and whatnot. But it's very weird. Hey, so let's look at the Steam discussion and just see. People are saying these tags can be edited by Steam users, so I'm guessing some trolls thought it'd be funny to push their negative agenda. There's a lot of considerations. Is this woke or no? People are not sure, and we're not sure what the game is gonna have in it. But I would imagine that they snuck something in this. We're entering the age of them sneaking this stuff in. They put something in that. They put some message about Nazis. They put some message about Indiana Jones as a character. Um, as if Asmongold is but humble outrage farmer. Asmongold's pretty cool. I mean, he's not the coolest dude out there, but he certainly is kind of awesome. You gotta admit, just a random neck beard becoming incredibly famous. It's kind of hilarious. I don't know, man. Considering some of the posts, so like there is some weird considerations for this game. You really gotta wonder how they have their game is in it. Look at this. Oh god. I hope this game has a lot of LGBT and queer representation. Hopefully allowed pronouns, but if not, it's not a deal breaker. I kind of wish someone other than a cis male. What is wrong with these human beings? They're so fucked in the head. Hope it has nothing more than a cis male. Well, sorry. Indiana Jones is a male, and if you went back to the original Indiana Jones character, he's not going to have fond views of LGBT representation. Let's go back to the Indiana Jones from the first and second film. He's a stoic man. He's a womanizer. He's a no bullshit kind of guy. That is Indiana Jones. He has no care or concern for representation or anything. I mean, let's just be honest here. Cis male. Cis is the absolute fucking stupidest term ever. That should be banned, that word. Normal people? You mean fucking normal people? Huh? So, I mean, this game has some very... this is what I was wondering, too. Is there a third person things? The first person looks kind of clunky. It looks kind of clunky. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm looking at that from a gameplay perspective. I'm not ripping on it, but the first person combat looks kind of wonky, to be honest. That's hilarious. So this game, and there's just not a lot of hype about this game. I'm just not seeing. I'm suspicious about this game too. So I'm coming at this as a person who's not gonna buy this game. I'm not going to look into it. I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna do anything. But I don't know. I don't know. Really, it's odd. It's an odd game. It doesn't add up. There's something about this game that's gonna be shit. You know it. I know it. It's. I'm not massively excited for it. It's going to be monetized to all hell. It looks like there's some weirdness in it. It just really does. It looks like they tried to hide kind of the diversity in it. And there's going to be massive political statements on the Nazis. There's going to be some strange mentions of how Indiana Jones isn't the greatest character, and that there are other women that we have to care about, potentially gay women, lesbians that we have to care about. And it's like, I think what they're doing is they're using Indiana Jones, his legacy, his image, who he is as a person. They're using him, and you'll play as him for a bit of the story, but mostly you'll be have to be dealing with these other fucking chicks and what their feelings are. It's weird, man. It's really weird. I'm excited for this game to come out because I want to see what people say about it. Like, It just looks like something that they slapped together. It looks like something that is, it just looks off. There's just something about this game that is they've done something in this that I think what they did is they here. Let's look it up right now. I'm on my phone right now. Let's see. Is Indiana Jones open world? I have a major problem with them coming out with these games, charging eight games, and it seems like there's something about this game that is just weird. Landing in December 8th. Indiana Jones is heading their way this December, meaning there's less than a month wait now. The all-new game from the Wolfenstein developer, Machine Games, is undoubtedly one of the most anticipated Xbox games in this generation, with collaborating with Skyrim, Fallout, Starway. The project was announced way back and when. I just don't think there's enough hype for Indiana Jones. They've ruined his image in film. They've ruined his legacy in many mediums. They wanted to obviously bring him to the silver screen of gaming, so to speak. I just don't think there's enough hype for this game. I don't think that there's. I don't think there's a way you could have presented this, and especially not the way that they have presented it. I just don't think there's enough general enjoyment to be had here. So you go around getting artifacts, solving tombs. Does this tie into the official story? Does it use Harrison Ford? Does Harrison Ford even give an absolute flying fuck about this? Let's see. Let's see this. This is a bit of a study. Is Harrison Ford in The Great Circle? The Great Circle. Because to make an Indiana Jones game, I don't know why. While it is sad that Harrison Ford will not be featured in the game, Lucas Games and Bethesda have managed to find a perfect replacement that no one could have ever predicted in the wildest dreams. Indiana Jones Will Oh, a Great Secret features Troy Baker, the person we get to voice all our games. And that in itself just shows you what a hollow project this is. Is that, like, if they're not even willing to get Harrison Ford, that's brutal. Nope, Harrison Ford will not be voicing the titular Tomb Raider in that Indiana Jones A Great Circle. Ford's younger face is certainly intact, so they've sculpted his face, obviously, so they've probably had to pay him a shitload of money, and that's probably as much effort as he was concerned into doing this. Troy Baker is adopting the fedora hat. The character fedora hat. Interesting choice of words. I think, this is just my prediction, but this is what they did. They hired Sweet Baby. They took this game. They're going to deflame and deface Harrison Ford and the character of Indiana Jones so much more, even more than he was ready to do. They're going to make him out to be like a bumbling tomb raiding idiot. And you're going to have to go and solve all these puzzles, and it's just not going to be a good game. It could have been a great idea, but I have a feeling that this is just going to kind of just come out and everybody be like, oh, that's cool. Okay, on to the next game. It's not like Indiana Jones isn't awesome. Like, the original movies are fucking classics. We'll always love those. And there's nothing they can do to wreck that. But I don't think that there's enough interest in this, and with the rumor that Sweet Baby is involved, it's just going to be a death sentence to this game. And let's just look what more people are saying here, because they're saying the scheming game is being made for modern arts. Don't take my word for it. The game's senior narrative designer said so. Let's just see this. Oh God, we get fucking goddamn Chrome. Oh my God, that's the motherfucker that made it? Oh, this game is doomed. It's doomed. It's gonna be so bad. Is it true? They removed Nazi imagery, obviously. Some have made that, but there certainly doesn't seem to be a source for it. I mean, yeah. I agree with what this person's saying. I'm getting bad vibes from the women in this game. And I think, as sinister as this sounds, as bad and annoying as this sounds, I think what these fuckers have done is they made the game appear like it's an Indiana Jones game. But what you're really gonna get, oops, but what you're really gonna get is this shit. She's gonna be a lesbian and she's gonna be diverse and they're gonna be chatting and talking and Indiana Jones is gonna be the fumbling, bumbling fucking moron that runs around doing shit for them. That has to be what's gonna happen. It has to be. It absolutely has to be what's gonna go down with this. And this game it just doesn't seem like it has massive hype for it. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. I didn't get that vibe that she said no one's worse than Marin Raver, Raiders of Lost Ark, blah blah blah. We'll see if the Marmar shows up for this game. That's the thing, is I don't know if there's gonna be a. Am I the only one? I've been in Indiana phones since I was a little girl, and my dad introduced me, said he can't bring myself to be excited to this game considering where the franchise and the games are and those whole things. Exactly. 100%. Like, it just doesn't have the draw anymore. Indiana Jones as a character has been defaced so horribly with the movie, that new movie that came out that shit. It really sucked, turned him into an old bumbling loser. Like, nobody's interested in the characters. They can ruin these characters, and you got to give it to Ford. I mean, he's older. He doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's just say, whatever, just keep paying me money. It's brutal. And really, realistically speaking, if we made this completely free of wokeness, completely good, it could have been a good game. It could have been a good game, but you're going to have some gayness. You're going to have some preachiness. There's going to be something about Nazis. But it's just like the way they come across with this is going to just be cringe. It's just gonna be like a punching Nazi simulator, and like there's got to be some political banter to that. Yeah. Oh boy, everyone who doesn't agree with me as a Nazi type would be the first to rat out Anne Frank. Oh boy, that everyone who doesn't agree with me isn't a Nazi would be the first to rat out Anne Frank. Yeah, no shit. Sweet baby incidents, yes. So here's what my theory is with these sweet babies. You know that I'm a severe anti-woke person. I will say to that it's fucking cancer in gaming. You gotta call this shit out because it's just gonna get worse. These people who have no talent are making the way into gaming industries just because, diversity and representation. We got black and gay characters in every single fucking game. That's such a great idea. Oh, it's so good for society. Yeah, you fucking idiot. You fucking idiots. But here's what we're seeing. This topic has been lost. Here we go. So this is going to be a firestorm of a topic here. I don't care about the cultural war, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's no evidence, it's just that there is that. They're infested Bethesda. We know this. We know that Bethesda is taking the plunge into DEI money, which is crazy because you would think they wouldn't even need it. It hurt Starfield. Starfield was massively hurt by the pronoun business. Tons more people didn't, myself included, weren't really interested in it because of that. They just ruined this shit. So there's lots of back and forth in this. But this is my theory, okay? This is my theory on this sweet baby bullshit. They know that people don't like wokeness. They know that people names like Sweet Baby this and wokeness is just death sentences for games, because there's a lot of people now who would just refuse to buy games that have anything to do with wokeness in them, even if they're fairly serviceable games. Like I'm sure this game will be. It will be a video game. You'll be able to play it. It'll be okay on some fronts, but it's not good enough anymore. It's just not good enough. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say with this game. They're trying to make it so that they can hide this stuff in gaming, but they can't hide it. We have a sixth sense for this shit now. Wow, clam farmers are getting lazy. We have a sixth sense for this game, this wokeness in gaming. And when they take an iconic, stoic, brave, hardened white man, and they want to just use his name, tear down his character, create a half-assed game, and profit off of it, they deserve to be shamed. Because Indiana Jones deserved better. He didn't deserve that movie that came out a little while ago. I mean, the Shia LaBeouf one was okay. Let's not beat around the bush and say it was the worst movie ever made and it made Indiana Jones look horrible. I mean, he had Shia LaBeouf as a kid and he got to meet aliens. I mean, it wasn't the most worst concept for a movie, and the execution was pretty okayish. But the newer movie came out with the woman. It's just they just fucking had to. They just had to ruin Indiana Jones. So that's what I think this is. I think it's a very half-baked attempt to try and take Indiana, use his image, insert woke politics, get a Bethesda studio that just there's bored to just sit around and make this stupid game. And ultimately, what we're gonna get is a very hollow experience. Uh, Narratively, very confusing. Lots of wokeness. Hidden wokeness. Fucking hidden wokeness. Wokeness that they put in this, and they expect that we'll just consume the product because, oh hey, look, you get to beat up a whole bunch of Nazis as another white dude, so it's all fine. It all works out in the end. Yeah, no, I don't know. When will they stop? That's the thing, is when will they fucking stop with this? How much more can Indiana Jones take?